welcome to the A Way to Live Well podcast. My name is Anna Maria and I'm your host. Today I'm going to be speaking about nutrition and the type of nutrients that can impact your back health. Did you know that the food that you eat can impact your spinal health? And eating a well-balanced diet can really lend itself towards promoting the health of your spine. And it may not come as a shock to you that certain foods may impact your spinal health badly, in the same way that certain foods impact your general health badly. Choosing nutrient-dense whole foods can have a really positive effect on your spine as well as the whole of your body. Choosing the right nutrient-rich diet that provides you with all the necessary nutrients for bone health can keep your spine healthy and support your overall bone health. When you combine a nutrient-rich diet with exercise, it can also help you to maintain a healthy weight. And this, according to the American Academy of Neurosurgeons, is really important, as they state that 66% of patients with arthritis are either overweight or obese, and they are 4 to 5 times more likely to be diagnosed with osteoarthritis. There are approximately 20 essential nutrients necessary for spine health. All of these nutrients work together to keep the spine healthy over the course of your lifetime. Our nutrient intake will ultimately determine the health of our cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and muscles. So remember, these are the connective and supporting structures of our bones. Certain nutrients help us repair and maintain the health of these structures. Many diseases and spinal conditions have been now linked directly with our diet. Osteoporosis, for example, is when the creation of new bone cannot keep up with the loss of old bone. Osteoporosis can occur at any age, but it's more likely in people over the age of 50. And women are also more at risk, especially when they're past their menopause. This is because of the drop in estrogen levels in the body, which has been linked with an increase in osteoclasts. These are the little guys that break down our bone. They're essentially good. They work to repair and remodel our bone and maintain it. They work in relationship with osteoblasts, which are the little guys that help to build up. So you can imagine the osteoblasts are building up the bone, and then the osteoclasts come along and remodel the bone so that it all works together in beautiful kind of synergy. But since there is an increase in osteoclasts due to the drop in estrogen, this means that we're getting a higher loss of bone than we can keep up with in our body. As you can imagine, this leads to a kind of weakening of the bone, which is really problematic, especially as we get older. And if we're not practicing our yoga, we can be more at risk of having falls and fracturing something, which can really have detrimental effects on our life and our ability to move around and do things for ourselves. So that quality of life impairment element there. So what are the main nutrients necessary for a balanced diet and healthy? So what is a balanced diet anyway? It consists of the correct amounts of macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats, and your micronutrients are what we require in smaller amounts, but they are incredibly important for all the systems of our body: our endocrine system, our nervous system, our musculoskeletal system, and everything that goes on in our body essentially. So we need these little micronutrients. And what are the specific ones that are important for our bone health? And this is not to say that we don't need all the other ones as well. It all works together as this beautiful kind of harmonious system. So essentially for bone health though, the specific requirements are calcium, which you might remember from that clever little children's song, which goes, them bones need calcium. As well as calcium, we also need phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin B6, B12, folic acid, omega-3, and antioxidants, and protein, of course. So you might be thinking, wow, that is quite a lot of nutrients to remember, and how do I ensure that I'm getting all of these, and do I need to take a supplement, etc.? And I will say that supplementation is sometimes necessary, particularly if you are perhaps more prone to or in the sort of age group of needing to be more conscious about your bone health, particularly for women. And this is something you could consult your GP or a nutritional therapist or nutritionist or dietitian about. But there are ways that you can just ensure that you're getting a varied diet that include a lot of these nutrients. And if you're getting some really good produce, you know that you're going to be getting a lot of these nutrients just naturally through your diet. So let's talk a little bit about plant-based protein. This is the one I'm going to sort of speak about the most, as I am a plant-based eater myself. I have chosen to be this way because it is pretty accessible where I'm currently living in London, and I totally understand that sometimes this isn't exactly the easiest diet to follow. Not that I believe in diets per se. Elimination diets are problematic because then you need to start thinking about taking those supplements where you might be lacking them from omitting certain food groups. But you can definitely get all the protein that you need from plant-based sources. Things like beans, lentils, soy, peas, all of these things. And I was definitely surprised back in 2014 when I got my nutritional diploma, and I discovered that a lot of things have protein in them that you might not even think about. You know, obviously your nuts, but also things like oats, which is pretty cool because that's one of my favorite morning breakfasts. Not huge amounts, but you are still getting a little bit of protein in there, which is, it all counts, right? So from my perspective, even if you are eating meat sources as well, trying to up your plant-based protein is probably a really good idea, and just for your general overall health. And I'm going to go into that a little bit as well here today. So I am a foodie myself, so I totally understand there is a payoff of eating the things that you really love. So if you are going to eat meat, just ensuring that it's grass-fed and perhaps had a happy life, because I do think there is a certain element of, you know, if whatever you're eating lived in kind of really nice conditions, then perhaps that sort of transfers into you as well. And there's a greater sense of reverence and respect for the things that we eat when they're sort of cared for a little bit more, I think. And even if that means it has a little bit of a higher price tag, but I think it all kind of adds up somehow in the end. So, yep, totally understand that sometimes eating plant-based is not the most practical as well. So if you do, just making those nice choices for yourself as well and for your body. Okay, that's my little speech over. So let's go into a little bit more about plant-based protein since we're here. So animal products can lead to inflammation in the body, and this is maybe why, or one of the reasons why you might choose to have a little bit more plant-based protein in your life. So plant-based protein, such as beans and lentils, are packed full of essential nutrients like the phosphorus, the vitamin B6, antioxidants, and fiber. Calcium is super important for maintaining and improving bone health, like we discussed earlier from the song. Soybeans are an excellent source of calcium. You can eat it in the form of tofu or tempeh. And calcium can be found in a whole bunch of other foods as well, such as leafy green vegetables. Speaking of vegetables, veggies are generally healthy all round, and they are also really great for managing back issues. So vegetables, for example, like kale, broccoli, and spinach work well to counteract inflammation. So any of that inflammation that you might be getting from other sources or just generally coming up in the body, and these can be in conditions such as arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, particularly. Kale, broccoli are the things that you want to be going for, and spinach as well. Each of these also contains a number of other nutrients which are excellent for your spine. Calcium, as I said before, and nuts and seeds, as well as containing protein. Seeds like flax seeds are rich in omega-3. And walnuts, cashews, almonds, and sesame and soybean oils are rich in omega-6 as well, which, as we said earlier, are some of those essential nutrients. spices like turmeric. I'm never exactly sure how to pronounce it. I've heard people say it a few different ways. I just say turmeric. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. So inflammation is something we want to reduce and prevent, right? So herbs can be a really important source of inflammation fighting, and not to mention a really delicious ingredient. Turmeric is widely known to be a great at reducing inflammation. So ensure that you include a sprinkle of black pepper with your turmeric. This has been shown to enhance the benefits of the active ingredient in turmeric, which is called curcumin. I really love to make this kind of scrambled tofu in the morning, and I put a whole bunch of turmeric in there, little spritz of black pepper, and it makes this really delicious, almost like a scrambled egg type substitute. It's super, super lovely. And you can also drink it in a tea, turmeric and a little bit of black pepper. You could put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there as well, and a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it up. Super delicious, super nice way to get in your turmeric. Avocados. These are amazing and so delicious and creamy and just the best texture, really. It's such a good food. They're not just a kind of trendy, overpriced cafe food that you get in your sourdough toast. They're also great for your spine, right? They're full of healthy fats that your body needs. Studies on oil extracts from avocados show that they can actually reduce osteoarthritis symptoms. The vitamin K in avocados boosts your bone health by slowing down bone loss and helping you to ward off osteoporosis. Okay, so my final favorite here to include that can really help your healthy spine is one of my favorite little nutrient powerhouses, blueberries. They are considered to be among the richest sources of antioxidants, and they also contain vitamin K, an important nutrient for maintaining bone density. Super delicious. You can put them in your porridge in the morning. Again, that contains your protein, and mix it in with some flax seeds, which has got your omegas in there. And you have just a really delicious, nutrient-dense breakfast. Love them. Okay, so nourishing yourself towards a healthy spine is just really good practice. Alongside exercise for a healthy spine and medical advice from your GP if necessary, all you need to do is choose the foods that are great for your body, particularly for your spine. You only have one spine, and its health is so important for your day-to-day life. So give yourself the best chance possible for a healthy, happy spine with these healthy food suggestions. They'll help you improve your spine health as well as your overall health. If you or anyone you know is interested in learning more about keeping a healthy spine, you can join my Healthy Back program. If you have back pain, this can also be a really great resource for you, and you can sign up for early access by just dropping me a message. So let me know what you think. Share this with anybody you think it might be helpful. It was so brilliant to have you here today. Thank you so much for being here and listening and supporting the show. Please drop me any comments or anything you'd like to hear about, and I look forward to chatting with you again very soon. Have a beautiful day and be well.